revolving bed. And the cost? Well, one night in the royal suite will set you back $9,000, and that's not including breakfast. But if that's a bit beyond your wallet, there's no way you're going to feel shortchanged. At this hotel, everyone is treated as a VIP. You can dine with the fishes at the Al Mahara restaurant. Travel in one of the fastest elevators in the world at a heart-stopping 20 feet per second. Drink at the Skyview bar, seemingly suspended mid-air 620 feet above the Arabian Gulf. It's all here. Next, we take the hotel apart, piece by piece, to reveal how you create an iconic superstructure from scratch. Burj Al Arab, meaning the Arabian Tower, is known as the world's most luxurious hotel. It sits over 900 feet offshore on its own man-made island and stands over 1,000 feet high, making it the tallest hotel in the world. It's part of Jumeirah International, the largest luxury hospitality group in Dubai.
Well, Jumeirah International started life first as the Jumeirah Beach Hotel, which is our wave-shaped hotel with 619 rooms across from the Burj Al Arab Island. This opened in late November 1997, and that was followed with the next part of the resort, which is Wild Wadi Water Park, followed by the Burj Al Arab in November of 1999 to complete the Jumeirah Beach Resort.
Burj Al Arab is the company's flagship. Commissioned in 1993, it took 5 years to build, and we can reveal how it all began.
The brief from the client was to create a building that would become an icon for Dubai, rather like Sydney has its Opera House and Egypt the pyramids.
Here's the secret to creating an iconic structure.
There was a litmus test we invented and applied to them, and that is if you could draw the building quickly in 5 seconds, Pictionary style, and it was recognized by almost everybody, it would then have achieved this sort of iconic status.
The test worked, and Burj Al Arab is now a symbol for Dubai. It even appears on all the car registration plates. We discovered the original designs were even more adventurous than the end result. They included cable cars and an underwater tunnel as ways of reaching the hotel on its island. But high winds and the shallow sea made these innovative ideas unrealistic. They were eventually replaced by the curved causeway. And here's a little-known fact. Burj Al Arab wasn't intended to be the tallest hotel in the world.
The architect that did the drawings didn't like the fact that the building was 320 meters high. He preferred 321 as a figure. And so we built it 321 meters high, and then discovered that the tallest building up till then was in China at 320 meters.
It might have been a world record waiting to happen, but its construction wasn't all plain sailing. The first challenge was to build an island in the sea for it to stand on.
We built the building out to sea because we thought it enhanced the iconic nature of the building, the fact that it looks like a large sail, a ship. It seemed logical to put it out to sea.
These early sketches reveal there was another reason for the man-made island. Building the hotel on land would have meant shading the beach and sun-worshipping holidaymakers throughout the day. Burj Al Arab is the only hotel in the world to stand on its own man-made island. The secret to keeping the island and hotel from sinking lies 100 feet below sea level. Huge rocks were poured into the sea to create the island. 230 steel and concrete rods were then drilled through the island and 140 feet into the sea floor to support the hotel. The underwater construction took over a year, and we can reveal how they ensured that all their hard work would never erode.
One of the secrets of preserving the structure of the island at Burj Al Arab is the layer of special armouring that you see on the island behind me. When waves impact the island, instead of riding up and over the top of the island, they're absorbed just like a sponge.
By absorbing the waves, this simple honeycomb structure greatly reduces any risk of erosion to the island. They really are the first line of defense against the elements. Next, it was time to build the hotel itself. For the tallest hotel, they needed the largest cranes in the world, brought over special delivery from Australia. During construction, over 3,000 workers were on site. 70 stories above the sea, they riveted, hammered, and bolted the skeleton frame of Burj Al Arab into place. A total of 9,000 tons of steel were used in the framework to brace the massive structure against powerful winds and sandstorms. One of the unique designs of the hotel added an extra challenge: a restaurant and bar floating 620 feet above the sea that seems to defy gravity. The architect let us in on the secret to its design.
The floor is actually made up of a series of beams that cantilever from the core, and they are radial from the core, rather like a spider's web, with a floor plate that is welded to them to stiffen them.
The main aim was to provide unspoiled panoramic views of the Arabian Gulf, and they let us into the secret of how they achieved this.
If you can imagine that outside of this building, under the design wind conditions, you have the equivalent of a Mercedes-Benz pressing against the glass. By means of providing these thick stiffeners, we've been able to avoid the need for structural elements which would obscure the view.
Central to the hotel's design is the atrium. It takes up a third of the interior space, and at 597 feet high, you could fit the Statue of Liberty inside. Look carefully, and you'll see that one entire wall of the atrium is made of fabric, an engineering first. At 96,000 square feet, this is the largest fabric wall in the world.
We decided on the fabric wall because it gave us a sense of the nautical. It has an image of a billowing sail on a modern racing yacht. But it also has a very practical function to cut down the heat and to provide a pleasant light within the atrium.
The double-coated Teflon glass fiber screen had to be installed in sections to prevent the panels from being blown away in high winds. What most people don't realize is that the wall is actually made up of 2 layers of fabric skin with an air gap of nearly 20 inches between them for insulation, or rather refrigeration. Temperatures in Dubai can reach 100 degrees. That 20 inches helps to keep the hotel guests cool on the inside. A floor-to-ceiling atrium in the world's tallest hotel means, well, that this is the tallest atrium in the world, and presented another challenge for the designers. In a word, vertigo.
This is a very large space. We're talking about 180 meters high. As a result, we looked very carefully at the way we designed the balconies to make sure that there were never any vertical views straight down the atrium. We always have an oblique view. We always have something to look at that is another floor or some other color or plane that breaks up the view so that you never have this verticality.
It was a tall order, but they did it. Burj Al Arab opened in December 1999. Since then, everyone from former U.S. President Bill Clinton to singer Lionel Richie have landed on this luxury island. Coming up next, how the world's most luxurious hotel transforms itself by night into a magical light show. A wind-filled sail by day, Burj Al Arab is transformed by night into the backdrop for a unique fire, water, and light spectacular. As guests approach the hotel, they're greeted by a thunderous display of fireballs and water screeching 15 feet into the night sky. Lit by 142 iridium floodlights that change color every 3 seconds, the hotel can be seen from miles around. The central